Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at the homework problems in section 14.3, which deals with geometry in 3 dimensions. So in this case here, we're going to identify the polyhedron that's on the right. This is the first problem here. Now here you're given a choice of answers. It's either a pentagonal prism, a truncated cube, a quadratic prism, or a quadratic pyramid. Okay, we know it's not a pentagonal prism because the base is not a pentagon. And it's not a truncated cube because actually it's not a cube to begin with. From the looks of this, it is a pyramid. Because I can tell because here you got triangles from the base at a tip of that pyramid, which is at the top. So here, this will be a quadratic pyramid. And quadratic means it's just like a four-sided figure. So here we'll say that this is a quadratic pyramid. Okay, here's the next problem. Now this one is going to require that I use some type of visual aid because it's difficult to see from this particular figure. Pictured on the right are stacks of solid cubes. Determine the number of cubes in the stack and the number of faces that are glued together. Okay, now here I have a example of this particular representation of that particular cubes that are stacked together in this particular fashion. Okay, we want to find out the number of cubes there are. Okay, now by looking at this, and besides, if I turn this, I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes here, and then another set of 8 cubes that are stacked here as well. So that's 16, and then we got 4 in the front. So that's a total of 20. So that means that there are 20 cubes in this particular stack. Okay, now here comes the hard part. We want to find out the number of faces that are glued together. Okay, now, in a single cube, and I'm going to take off one of these cubes here. In a single cube, there's 6 faces. Think of a pair of dice or a single die that has cubes in it. There's 6 cubes. Okay, so in this case here, each cube has 6 faces. So if there are 20 cubes altogether, then 20 times 6 is 120. That means that there are 120 faces altogether in this particular stack of cubes. Okay, now, let's look at the number of faces that we see. Okay, we're going to count the number of faces that we see. In the front, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 faces. So the front has 8 faces. The back also has, as you can see, 8 faces. The sides have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 faces. And, well, the left and the right side each have 10 faces as well, as you can see. Now the top and the bottom. If I show you this from the top, you only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. And on the bottom, there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces as well. So if I add up the number of faces that I see, okay, this is going to be 16, 26, 36, 42, 48. There are 48 faces that I see in this stack of cubes. So if I subtract 48 from the 120 faces altogether, that tells me the number of faces that are glued together, which is in this case 72. So there are 72 faces glued together in this stack of cubes that are stacked this way. Okay, here's the next problem. Name the polyhedron that can be constructed using the flattened polyhedron. Okay, I see right here a pentagon. So it's either going to be a right pentagonal prism or a right pentagonal pyramid. For us to have a pyramid, we have to have triangles here. Notice here we have rectangles. So it can't be a right pentagonal pyramid. It must be a right pentagonal prism. Okay, because usually prisms usually have the base as a rectangle. Well, the lateral faces are going to be rectangles. The base in this case will be your pentagons. So it's a right pentagonal prism. Okay, look at the next problem. The figure on the right represents a card attached to a wire. Determine what the figure would look like if the card were revolved around the wire. Okay, now here's a wire, and then you got this card that looks like this, and you want to find out which one of these would look like this if this was revolved. Revolved means it's going in a circle. Okay, so this is going to be part of it right here. If I revolved this part right here in a circular way, it would be a circle that looks somewhat. It's not the best representation here, but if I revolve this going around and around, it will look like this part right here. And if I did the top part in that same way, it will look like this. So actually, this is going to be answer A in the form of a hourglass. Okay, problem number 5. Identify the three-dimensional figure given the net forms. Okay, so here is what the net looks like. And your choice of answers is going to be a triangular pyramid, a rectangular prism, a rectangular pyramid, or a cube. Well, it can't be either the triangular pyramid or the rectangular pyramid because that net does not have triangles at all in it. So it's going to be one of these two, either the rectangular prism or the cube. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that there are squares here. And I see 6 squares of equal length. And usually if you form 6 squares together, you're going to get a cube. Okay? Because this right here is one of the representations of a cube. All the sides are equal in length. So here, this represents a cube. Okay. All right, and this is a short homework section over 14.3. This should be enough to assist you with those homework problems as well.